So here we have two very similar but also very different bikes. They are both drop bar bikes. One is a gravel bike, aluminium gravel bike, the other is a carbon road bike. But which would you think would be the most efficient climber for when things get really steep? I'm going to run through some features now and explain it to you. I think the answer might surprise you. So, bike number one is this Look 566 carbon framed road bike. It has a compact front chainset 5034 and 1128 rear cassette. Carbon fibre frame, lightweight components, lightweight wheels with 25mm tyres, and the total weight of the bike is about 7.2 kilos. The other bike is gravel bike with an aluminium frame. It has 40mm tyres, much burlier wheels and components, with the luggage bag on it with a few breakdown spares and things in it. It weighs about 11 kilos, so 7.2 versus 11. But which one is the best for climbing? So you would automatically think it would be the super lightweight racy carbon bike, but in fact when things get really steep, this thing really comes into its own. And the reason is super wide range gearing, so 1136 cassette on the rear and a subcompact or cyclocross 4032 front chainring. So that's a massive gear range with a bottom gear of 3236, whereas the bottom gear here is 3428. And you might be thinking, well, yeah, but that's a much lighter bike. But honestly, when things get really steep, you can just sit and spin on this thing with those low ratio gears. And it's not just that either. The fatter tyres actually have some benefit when climbing, because on really steep stuff, traction is a huge issue, and you can run these at lower pressure to get a much better contact patch with the road surface and therefore more traction. Whereas these skinny tyres, this skinny back tyre could slip quite easily, especially in the wet on a an extreme climb of sort of 15-20%. So yeah, it's a surprising thing, and for years and years everyone's always believed, again, it all comes down to this thing about weight being everything, and it just isn't. This bike is 4 kilos lighter than that one, but with the right equipment, the right tyres, the right gearing, this one is the one I would choose if I was going out today on a super hilly climb. So yeah, it's just another one of those instances where perceived values are not always correct. Weight is not everything. There are other factors to the bike that can make it a good climbing bike, and as I say, I wouldn't hesitate in using the Boardman over the Look in this situation if I was going out on a really steep day's climbing. So that's worth taking into account. Less about weight, more about gear ratios. The wider tyres don't hold you back when things get really steep. There's no aerodynamic advantage or anything to be had at that speed. All that matters is traction, and a wider tyre at a lower pressure actually gives you more traction on a steep climb than your higher pressure skinny tyres on your fast bike. So yeah, this is another reason really why, and I know I keep saying it, that these wider tyred bikes are proper all-rounders and becoming more and more popular. So yeah, next time you think about building a climbing bike, maybe think about wider tyres, and especially think about your gear ratios.